Good morning again. Yeah, thank you all for making the effort on Sunday with all other preoccupations, somehow making your time to come here. I think, like Yogananda ji shared, that his centers are like beehives and God is the honey. So, when two or more are gathered in His name, He'll be there, is what Christ said. But in the same way, when we all sincerely come here, hoping to draw in their grace and presence, they'll come here and we consciously open our hearts to all of them. And with their immense grace and compassion for all of us, they all descended to show us the way how to go back. You all might have heard this story of this person. There was three friends. So these three friends were all together in a garden, in a park. Like Chandigarh has many parks. He was there, and all these three people were in the park discussing what is. They are also discussing like what is the eternal truth? Where do we need to go? Where is this infinite happiness? Where can we go? And suddenly this is more a story in which they have to physically do the things outwardly. This is a story of a symbolic story of our inward journey, where one person finally, after all hardships, he finds this big wall there, and he knows, he tries to climb it up, and he sees this land where there's only infinite happiness, no more problems. And so he sees that, he jumps across and he doesn't return. Second one does the same, and third one also is about to, he's looking back at all these crores of people behind him, and not many people have seen this. So he goes up, he looks at it, he jumps, he experiences it, but he comes back, jumps back up, trying to show so that many more people will be hungry for these teachings, so that we can show them back to the God. So all these great masters with their infinite compassion have come back because they can be on their own. God need not ask them, but they all have volunteered. Like Yogananda ji said, even if one with bleeding feet, I'll come, even if one stray brother is left behind. So that's their infinite love and compassion. I think why we are all here, when we all came to the path, and we all, even in the beginning days, we started experiencing this joy, and we thought, okay, I need something what these people have here. So that's why we keep coming back to experience it and try to make this our reality so that we can keep sharing with all. So today's topic is security. Like Prepsa was reading, today's in security, there are two important things in the affirmation. So what are the two important things? Will you tell me, dear? So the two important things is we will still have to do our best. We'll still have to do our best, but the second one is then we'll have to offer everything up to God. This is like you have to travel to another place with a big luggage. What we do, we climb onto the bus, but at the same time, we don't have to hold on to our bags so strongly standing. We don't have place to sit. What we do, we put the bag in the counter and then we confidently we stand. In the same way, we have to, after doing our best, offer all our results up to God, because there's two important points. Because sometimes we think, sometimes people lean on this side or that side. Okay, I'll just trust in God. I'll not even lock my car key. I'll not even lock my car. I'll go on my own, and then they come back to find some music system gone and few things gone. But Yogananda ji said you'll have to be disciplined. You have to follow the things of this world. But at the same time, when you do your best, then you can offer the things to God, and God will take care of the things. But God helps those who help themselves. Also, that's also true. There's also this thing which I heard, like there are two types of devotees. One devotee is one sitting on the lap of Divine Mother. Think of ourselves as small children, and we are just sitting on the lap of Divine Mother. No need to worry anything about world, how we were when we were young. We don't have to worry about anything. We can just sit on the lap and everything will be taken care. We don't have to worry if there's a war over there, if there's enough ration, enough oil in the house or anything, electricity bill, God will take care. Same. The second devotee is one who is holding onto the skirt or sari of Divine Mother. Don't leave me. She's busy working, but in the same time, I can't let go of you during the problems. Holding onto her feet and just tightly praying, just don't let me go during the storms and during the troubles. I think here both situations again relate to this reality. First situation, you have to do your best to hold on to her, no matter what. And second one is, then you can sit on the lap of Divine Mother and just say, okay, you take care. I'm not going to worry. Because we have to have both of these attitudes, otherwise it will be a trouble. Now I'll share some incidents where some people only did the first part. I'll give you an example. This was during the World War II. So this person was very intelligent. So he did all his calculations where the war is going to happen. So he found out a place. So I need to go to the place. See, people are not realizing the war is going to start and the world is going to be in so much chaos. I need to be away from all these places. So what he did, he looked at the map, he did all his calculations, he did all his research, and he found out this one island called Guam, where I'm going to go, I'm going to settle, and there'll be no problems. So he did all this intellectual thing, but somehow we also have to attune to the higher divine realities. Sometimes we just do our little part egoically, somehow not attuning to what the divine will is. Sometimes it's not going to go so well. So what happened in the World War II? Somehow Japanese went and captivated or took over that island from America. And the whole battle took over, then the America had to battle to get back that island. So whole battle took place around the Guam instead of not being the most peaceful region. So this person who tried to go away from everything was in the center, epicenter of where the battle took place. So in the same way, yeah, but we have God and Gurus with us. Even if we do put one step in front, they'll give the two hands, so they'll take us 10 steps ahead if we do our little part. So we have to attune. Also, today when I was reading that visualization, it was about the Om. I just realized many times why the problems come. The problems come because we think we are separate from all other things. I was preparing for Raja Yoga class series with Premdas, and I realized like how yoga means yogas chitta vritti nirodh. In the same way, this underlying reality between everything. So when we try to see ourselves separate, then we get into all this irritation start. Because during meditation, I started hearing sound from the shop vendor, selling something, some horns, this, that. Then I realized when we are in a way, when we expand ourselves, our consciousness, to become part of everything, then all of this is like sound within the whole big cosmic sound. Then without becoming anything irritation, you are much more joyful. You'll try to relate that this whole thing, you're part of it. So in the same way, like in the visualization, if we can somehow, this person who had to go to Guam somehow could attune himself to a little more to the bigger picture with God, it really helps us to go in the right direction. Also many times, also I'm going to go into the maybe few of the practical aspects, how we can use this security. Because now, okay, now getting back to the main topic again, security. So what all do we think is really our security? Maybe health, maybe financial security. What else is really, what else do you all see as security? What all is needed? Company of loved ones. Yeah, okay, that's very good point, important point, yeah. So yeah, so I'm going to take with those 3 points, financial security, the love, and all these things are very important. God has given us all of those things in the form of mother, father, or friends. He has shared all his divine friendship, because the God himself came up with this creation, they say, is because he wanted to enjoy or share this joy with everyone. That's why he brought this creation into existence. So in the same way, for the security, like we were reading, it's about completely trusting in God, and we can then keep going ahead with our this thing. Yeah. So I'm thinking, which direction shall I go now? So now the spiritual security, because our true security lies in God is the topic in a way, because we realize whatever other things we try to do outwardly, if we don't have that inner peace, inner strength in God, we'll start getting deviated. Because I've seen many people who are very strong, our health, everything is strong in the beginning days, but after what happens once they start getting old, once you don't have their faith in God, they start to tremble. They don't know what's happening. They're unable to control their body, and they feel like they were in charge, now I'm not in charge. What do I need to do now? But the ones who have trusted in God, what happens in this higher power? They just know that whatever these things are, they are still going to offer. God is going to take care of us. So it's very much important that way. And also, do you all know, I'll also share, even Yogananda ji had many, Yogananda ji, he had many difficulties. Like, I'll just share one example. His Mount Washington is the international headquarters of this thing, of self-realization fellowship organization he formed. But even getting it was very difficult. I don't know how many of you all know the story. First he was driving through, because he prayed, when he was in Kashmir, he had this vision visiting the Shankaracharya temple there. He had this vision of this Mount Washington headquarters on a hilltop. So also when he came to America, he used to be most of the time in the East Coast. But then he moved to the Los Angeles, LA, where he realized this is where there's much more, the land is much more open to these vibration. There's also one more thought that Lord Arjuna, he was also Lord Arjun, or Arjuna, the devotee with Krishna. So even in that time, there is this one speculation that Patal Desh was California or Mexico. That's where they had gone, or where he had stayed. So somehow all these links, the LA, he said, is Banaras of the West. So that's where all these vibrations all can be felt. So he had gone, he was driving with these two people. He just said, stop. Then he saw this, the person saw this board, trespassers will be prosecuted, something like that. But he just walked in. All these people were wondering what is happening. Then he walked in, he felt the palace grounds. Then he said, this feels like our property. This is where God wants me to do. Though the normal person would have thought 10 times he wanted to enter the thing, because he knew this assurance from within, he walked in. Then he saw this place, and he had a dedication ceremony even before signing the entire agreement with all the students, because his main intention was this will be a center where many more people can have these teachings. And then the money was about 60,000 US dollars back then. He was about to sign. I'm just giving you all these examples to show God's assurance. He was about to sign when he said, Divine Mother froze my hand and did not allow me to sign. Then he realized why she did was, there was one more negotiation where the money was brought to $45,000. Divine Mother did not want him to pay so much, 60,000. So don't think that God is so different that he'll not care for us. So even ask your simple things to them, to Divine Mother. Okay, I need to buy this. Involve them in everything, because God loves when you involve them even in little decisions. Don't think God is too busy managing the whole universe. They are also most dearest of dear. So then $45,000. Now this person said, agreed, okay, $45,000, but you have to pay me in cash the complete amount within 3 months' time. And so he started calling everyone. Finally, he was able to manage $40,000. Now it's the last day. Tomorrow he needs to pay the entire amount. And now the time he's staying in a rich man's house. And this person says to Yogananda ji, don't worry, things will work out. And Yogananda ji is like, he knew this person, if he wanted to help, he could have helped. But why do you say that? He told him, and that person walked away because he did not do anything much more. But at the same time, Yogananda ji prayed, focusing at the spiritual eye. Then what happened as he was praying at the spiritual eye? He was directed towards a telephone directory which was kept there. And as soon as he saw the telephone directory and opened, he remembered, he visualized, a memory of a face came to his brain, this thing. So the memory of this devotee was there, whom he knew. So he opened that, he called that person, because God told him to do so. And that person said, you know what? Yesterday, the person who I never thought would give me back my loan came back and gave exact amount, $5,000. I'll bring it to you tomorrow. The story does not end here. Next day, this person has to come at afternoon. The afternoon, the clock turns 12 and this person hasn't yet come. But the owner of the place says, no, we'll wait the entire day. But after a few minutes, this person comes with the amount, and Yogananda ji, that's how the story of Mount Washington existed. Just to tell how much God takes care of these things. Then also, it was not still free of troubles. After even buying, there was this partly owner of something. She tried to sue Yogananda ji. It's a big thing in America, trying to go to courts for all these things. And then Yogananda ji had to do out of court settlement to clear off that problem, because he knew many years it would go. He had to raise all these funds by doing classes, by taking help, because he knew this work, it was very important to have this center. There's also one person called Rashid who used to help him organize all the lectures, classes, everything. Even he started saying that he never paid me for any of my dues. He thought if Yogananda ji can buy this big Mount Washington, why can't he pay me? But Yogananda ji, he did not realize that it was through all the donations that had come in. So then afterwards he had to settle that. But also there was a time when he had felt so much with these things that he had decided he'll just go to Mexico. I'll just read that one one paragraph here. Finally, one day, desperate in the face of all these difficulties and with a large sum that needed to be paid off immediately, this is one more issue. Yeah, he went out into the desert, determined to turn the whole problem over to God. Divine Mother, he prayed. So, what happened now? Yogananda ji, who is an avatar, who has come to show us the way, he has gone to desert praying to Divine Mother. Divine Mother, I did not ask for all these financial problems. I've never wanted money for myself. I would much rather have spent my life in some Himalayan cave meditating on thy presence. Why dost thou burden me with such heavy trials? I am ready to leave everything, to walk into desert and never look back. This is what Yogananda ji said. If he had done that, we all would not have been here. Yeah. The Divine Mother of the universe answered him, I am thy stocks and bonds. What more dost thou need than that thou hast me? Dance of life and dance of death. Know that these come from me, and as such rejoice. Then afterwards, when he went back, help came in time and Mount Washington was saved. And the test continued, but because of his love for souls who needed his teachings, were desperate, he kept going on. So, on that note, so we all can realize now, as we go on our day, we'll have to do our best. Let's bring God into our daily life in all the little decisions we do, in all the things we do, because we all are very fortunate to have these teachings. So when we have these teachings and we know that when we know the joy is inside, when we know of this inner life, it also becomes our responsibility to also share this with others. The ones who share are the ones that are more blessed. The channel is more blessed by what flows through it. So each time, don't think, I don't know, you don't have to give any talks, anything. Just sometimes a smile is all needed for a stranger needing anything. So somehow try to keep speaking to God, what more or how more you want to express yourself. In everything is spiritual. From your family decisions, from your child to everything is spiritual. So try to give time, but at the same time bring Divine Mother into everything. And once we have all this with meditation, what happens? We'll be able to experience this more in depth and we'll be able to share more. And then as the security, this thing, the Om. So one of the few tips I just read about it. So what you all can do is, sometimes at night times, one of the thought that was shared was you can write Om on your pillow before sleeping. And you can also visualize a light surrounding you. So this way you'll be protected even from any bad dreams or anything. So you can also do this for little children in the house. So this way they'll be more protected in the vibration of Om. Because it's said in the vibration of Om, no problems will touch you. So also one more practice is you all might know, like just surrounding yourself using this just telling Om Tat Sat when you're going into difficult situations in life. Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat. Just also feel like you're also creating this bubble of light around you while doing this. And then walk with gurus and everyone. Because in monastery it said we are suggested to go in pairs sometimes. And once Yogananda ji had told some person to go, but that person said, I don't have anyone else to go, everyone is busy. Then he said, am I not with you? Or our master is not with you? In the same way, whenever we go anywhere, take them with you. Yeah, bring them. They'll add more joy, more love. And yeah, what else? When the world is so uplifted, you'll not have any more questions of any security. Even when the health goes away also, this is just some karma we are burning off and we'll have God at the end of the tunnel.